Hello everybody, my name is Christian Quick and welcome back to another video. Today we have yet another simple video, but there's going to be a little bit of a twist because of something that needs to be added into our util registry. But first, what are we making? Well, if you took a look at the title of the video, you would know that we are making the stripped dark log and then the stripped dark wood. So these are some pretty easy stuff. And then they they are going to be, well, actually this one doesn't have to be pillar block. I'm assuming because it's not actually going to change it by its rotation. I wonder if, can I call this a hold on, what is it, terracotta block? How did I call terracotta in the other one? Glazed terracotta. Hold on, GLA. Glazed terracotta block. In the past, I tried to put, so that's dark log, I tried to put the wood, and I called it pillar. So I'm going to call this as glazed, and hopefully this will make it rotate. Because technically when you put it as pillar, if I don't mark it as, if I don't mark it to rotate, it doesn't. And I don't think I have glazed in the block state, so I think that actually will make it rotate. Anyways, stripped dark log, and we're going to copy that stripped part, Control C, and then Control V, and we're going to change this last part. Oop, that's way too much. Stripped dark lid. So, with that in mind, this is copying of the log, so I would assume that it's got the sound blocks as wood, it's got the strength of wood, so that is basically that. And then how do we make the things, the blocks stripped? If we go into our util package in mod registries, we actually have strippable when we made the axe, and so we would just simply add new ones. So here, but since I already have it, we're just going to Control D. So strippable block registry dot register blocks, and then we have this. So let's say actually change this to mod blocks, and then we're going to do dot, and then we're going to need, this is the block that we have. So if I have what's called dark log, we want it to turn into mod blocks dot stripped dark log, and then Control D. If I have dark wood, we want it to turn into stripped dark wood. All right, so those we'll separate these because they're a little different. And then let's say I wanted to add another thing. So basically in mod strippables, you can see how it says mod registries.mod strippables. And then if I add another registry on top, actually we'll put it at the bottom because I know I'm going to add it after. Let's add another one. So we're going to have private static void, and then here we can just do the mod flammables, flammables, and then here we can do this and then this. And how do we do the flammable blocks? We have the flammable, not flattenable. That is something else. Oh, yeah, flam block registry dot. Let's call for instance, and we're going to have to equal this to the flammable dot flammable block registry dot get default state. So from here, we can do call for instance dot add, and then this is the, we're going to have it a block, an integer for burn, an integer spread. So add. So now let's add the blocks dot. We're going to do add mod blocks dot. So all of the dark basically needs to be added because they all need to be able to be burned. So we'll start with the let's start with the wood types. So we're gonna have dark wood, and then let's say for the integer burn, we can set this to 5 and 5. Control D. So we have dark wood, we have dark log, and then we gotta have the let's call it stripped dark wood, Control D, stripped dark log. I know this one's actually backwards, but that is perfectly fine. If I control, oh, that's not what I wanted. Control, that is what I'm doing. Control D. There we go. Stop. Dot, and then we're going to put in for dark. So we have the log, wood, and then we still need leaves and the plank. Let's say planks, and then burn. I'm not too sure entirely what burn means. I don't think that there is an actual examples um, for burning, but you could put in different times. I think burn is how long is it on fire, and then spread is how spreadable is it. So for here, for burn, how long does it burn? We could say that this burns faster, so we could say uh, 3, and the spread, let's say 10. And then last one would be, we'll call for the dark leaves, and then the burn would be 1, and we could set this to 20. Now, how reasonable is that? I don't know. Let's make a public static. Oh, that's why, because this isn't public. Public. Either way, I was going to have us do this. Public static void. And then here, we can do, if I go in here, I just want to show what I was trying to say, basically. Here, and then if I do the mod Flammables, so I can have a bunch of things say registry instead of, and I could just have everything that is registerable. So there are other things that can be registered. Flattenable, that's for like when you're making dirt paths. Oxidizeable, if you want to cut things with an axe. There's also like the waxable and oxidizable. So if I wax something or unwax something, that is also in the registry. We can make those at the very end if I feel like there's enough time for it. But instead of calling multiple things in our uninitialize, I want to basically call one thing to make it simple. So for here, let's call this mod stuffs, right? And then from here, what we're going to do is we're just going to call for the mod strippables. We're going to call for the mod flammables. So now they are all pointing in here. And then for our uninitialize, to make it much simpler, we can call this for mod stuffs. So now everything that is in that class will be in mod stuffs. Now, sometimes this will be not showing up, but it is being used. If I just close out of this and then reopen it, it is now suddenly yellow and is being used. I don't know why it does that. It tries and tricks you, but that's that. So now we have the strippables, and then we have all this brilliant flammable stuff. So that lets it set on fire. So with all that simple code put out of the way, we can now get into the block states and stuff like that. So when it comes down to, we're making a new log, right? And then the other one would be the wood. So let's actually go in our data gen for the wood, and let's go in the model provider, texture all sides, Control D, and here we can call for the strippable wood specifically. That way we don't have to do the wood models, and then let's go in loot tables. We're going to have to add this for both of them. So this is if we break it, we want to get them both back. So the log, and then we're going to need stripped dark wood. So now those things are in there. And then for the block states, let's add all the log stuff. So this is really simple. We're just going to say stripped underscore, and then I'm just going to copy this because I'm going to write it a lot. Control C. And then here we're going to do Control V, Control V, Control V. So everything in here says stripped. So that is the block states going in the model, block model, and here we have the dark. So we're going to take this, Control V, go in here. So now, yeah, there it is to the bottom, and it's going to point to these two textures. And then here for horizontal, we're going to do the same thing, where we're going to do the stripped dark log horizontal, and then we're going to copy these textures. Great. So now those two are in, and then for the item, is there a dark log? Yes, there is. So here we'll call for stripped dark log, and then here we'll call stripped dark log. So now we have the models done. Let us not forget about the lang for the blocks. Control D, and we'll do it one more time. Comma, comma. And then here we have the, well, they're not even planks, so this would be like log, and then we have Control V, and then this one is going to be wood. So here we got Control V. We're just gonna make that a space. Call that for capital S. Same thing. Control V. Get rid of that space. And here, and then here we're gonna call it log, and then this one is going to be wood. All right. So now you got those. Your model. Oh, we have all that. When it comes down to some of the loot tables, so not even loot tables. We have a loot table. They do not have a recipe, but they do have some tags. We can add them to our dark thing here. So let's call for dark log, and then here we can just Control V, stripped, and stripped. So now we have these 4 in here, which means that they will be able to be put in automatically into our recipes for making the planks, because we are pulling this file. That is very important. And then if I go into Minecraft, tags, blocks, mineable for the axe, we could add the Control DD. So this would be the Control V. So that's the stripped dark wood. Control V, and then we can make this top one log. So now they will be quickly able to be mined with an axe. So that is one of the technical things. And then I think everything is now done. I generally always forget something, so we'll see what it is if I even notice it in the first place. Hello, it is I, Mr. Editor, and I'm here to talk to you about... I have no idea. Everything in the mod seems like it's going pretty good, pretty smooth. We're having, out of everything of the mistakes I could have made, I literally just, I forgot to do one thing. It was something to do with the texture, and then another thing where I had to set something to RGB. Other than that, perfectly good, perfectly fine. Everything wasn't swell, and then I got to explain. I'll get to explain about all the other block registries at the very end of the video. So that is a fun little bonus. But I mean, really, there is no special method, tactic, or anything I have planned. We're about to get into some of the serious stuff with the with models. So we're gonna make the doors, trap doors, buttons, pressure plates, fences, fence gates, stairs, slabs. So there is going to be a tons of things, and then this whole tree section is over, and then we're going to move into the last chapter, which is going to be the advanced chapter. So there's going to be sounds and some other things. I actually plan to have a specialized guest coming over for that, but that is for much in the future. For now, let's just kind of hop back into the video. Alright, so I tried to run the data generation, and then it said the axis property, the input block must have an axis property, because I was trying to do a little loophole. No, so we need the wood, and we're going to do pillar block. I was just trying to make it rotatable. You can do that if you personally make the if you personally want to make the loot tables. I'm personally not going to. I don't really care that much. But now if I run the data gen, they do have access properties in the pillar block. Alright, here we are in our beautiful Minecraft world, and well, I decided to build this house as a reference of all the stuff that we are going to be making. And so this house will be more dark log. Actually, I was already in creative. The more dark wood stuff we make, the more dark wood this house is going to be. So everything that you basically see is going to be changed, except for the cement. The cement is going to stay the same because it's a glowing block. So I even added a doorbell. Ooh, try it again. Ah, so nice. So here is actually where I put out the stuff. So let's go in creative. Let's grab the dark. Uh-oh. The wood isn't working. Wonder why. Ah, so I need to make a stripped. So I made a wood that is the same as the log, and because they are on all sides, so I'm basically gonna need to make the same thing, where I have the stripped dark log. Uh-oh, why are they? That one, okay, this one's too bright. That's not the one it's supposed to be. Make sure that the image mode is an RGB scale. I think that was the first mistake. Refactor, overwrite. There we go. And it's got the darker texture. That is perfect. And then like what I was saying earlier, so for the stripped dark log, we're going to need to copy this into our blocks and call, oops, that's what I wanted, and call it stripped dark wood. And then we're good. So let's just run the client or rerun the client. All right. And now let's go into actually in our blocks it should be here. We can grab a bunch of dark logs and let's just kind of, well there's dark logs, so, and then there are dark woods. So if I just have this placed, and then we're going to need an axe, and because we put in that strippable registry, if we click on them, you'll notice that they become the stripped wood. The stripped wood should have automatic recipes, each one making 4 planks, so those are working. And then another thing is, well actually, it should be, when I break them with an axe, they do break quicker than by hand. So that means all the functionality is working. Well actually, not just the functionality, everything about it is working. So that's pretty good. Actually, these should be able to craft the wood because the dark logs craft the wood. So we're going to need to make a specialized recipe to compensate for that. So let's go into our recipes. I'm surprised I caught that one. And then we're going to look for I'm guessing the dark wood, and then we're going to go into our recipes. We're going to call for the STRIPPED stripped, and I don't remember if this is still copied, so we're just going to Control C. Okay, and then we're going to look for the stripped dark log, get the stripped dark wood, and then we're going to go into our advancements, and then we have the dark wood, so we're going to call this stripped dark wood, and then basically if we have stripped dark log, it will unlock the stripped dark wood recipe. So that is everything. Alright, before I close this video, I feel that there is one more thing that I am able to add, and that is going to show you the other registries. So let's just kind of copy the file here, this Control-C, and then Control-V because I'm just being lazy. Let's call this the mod Flattenables BL, and then we're going to make sure we put an end one of these, and then we're going to Control C, and then we're going to Control V, and then this one is going to be the mod Oxidizeabels. Alright, so now we have these 2 methods, and they're not being used, so let's make sure that we add them in here. So here we have the mod Flattenables, and then the other one is mod, and then this one's going to be the Oxidizeables. So now they will all be registered instantly with a thing. How do we do, what is a flattenable? A flattenable is something, it's supposed to be used that if you put a shovel on, dirt, it turns into a dirt path, but we can change this to whatever we want. So if we do the flattenable block registry dot register, there's 2 things. There's going to your blocks. Let's say we have stone, and then we can it's got to be all caps, stone, and I'm gonna totally forget about this. We can say turn this into blocks dot. We could say cobblestone, and then all you would have to do is dot get default state, and then everything is fine. So this is now if I click on a stone block with a if I click on a stone block with a shovel, it will now turn it into cobblestone. Oxidizable. Oxidizable has two things. So the first function I'm going to show you is the first block that gets called is not going to automatically know to tick into the next stage. This is basically trying to say, I want to use an axe to cut it down to a previous stage. Now, this is practically the strippable registry, but if you have an oxidizable block and you make one of those, that is generally what this is for. So to call it, we would have to call for the oxidizable blocks registry dot register the oxidizable, and then here we would do, let's say, the blocks dot, let's say diamond ore, and then if I do blocks dot let's just say a stone. This would be pretty cruel, but if you now put an axe to your diamond ore, it will just take the diamonds out. You won't be able to actually access them. It'll turn it into stone, and you'll never see those diamonds ever again. The other thing, you can actually do a second thing in the oxidizable block registry. I don't think that's what it's called. Oh, wait, no, that's what it is. So in the oxidizable block registry, this one is called waxable block pair. And this one you can actually switch back and forth. So let's, for example, let's do blocks dot, and then let's say this is the unwaxed. So let's say the unwaxed is, let's say let's do not black concrete, and then the other one will be blocks dot, and then we'll say black concrete powder. So this will be every time I wax black. Wait, I don't know if it's switched or not. If I wax, I think this is the if I wax concrete powder, it'll turn into. I think I have these switched. Hold on. Let's switch them because I think that's what it's supposed to be. If I have black concrete powder, it should turn into black concrete. Black concrete. And then if I axe it, this would be the unwaxed state. That might be wrong, but let's restart the world so you can kind of see what they are like. Alright, so let's see how well I have them forward and backward. The two things we added was mod Flattenables. Mod Flattenables should be, you're going to need a shovel. And then, so there is shovel, and then we're going to need an axe. We are going to need diamond ore. We'll add a whole stack, and then we're going to need the concrete powder, and then concrete, and then stone. So let's get some stone. So we have all the prime essentials here. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're also going to need some honeycomb because we're going to be waxing this. So let's see how well I have these all in order. If I, Flattenables means if I take a shovel. Yeah, okay, wait. Stone to, if I touch stone, it'll make it cobblestone. So if I have all this, it will make the shovel flatten sound, but it turns it into cobblestone. I would probably rather use the axe to do this, but that is what that one does. For the, I actually have this backwards because remember how I realized that this was backwards? I have this one backwards. So this basically takes stone and turns it into diamond ore. So if I take an axe, yeah, axe doesn't work on here, but if I take an axe to stone, it even has a very nice color for this. I was trying to do the opposite, but you know, this is just straight up broken. And then if I take an axe, now this one I realized what I was doing, and I switched them. If I take an axe, I can cut the concrete into concrete powder, and with honeycomb, I can re-wax it into concrete. So that is what the other registries are for. So keep those in mind. These are all the registries. Um, what's different about this compared to the strippables is that the re that you can redo it with the honeycomb. But that is gonna be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and without further ado,